Hello, and welcome to today's episode. I'm going to be your host, the Irrelevant Nerd, and today we're going to be reviewing the finale, episode 8 of The Mighty Nein, season 1, and I'll be giving my overall thoughts and feelings briefly at the end of the video as well. And really, what a finale. I'm going to give the spoiler warning now because a lot happened in this episode, so I'm just going to go ahead, get right into it. So spoilers from here on out. So the episode starts with the Mighty Nein meeting up with the gentleman, and they plan their heist for the Luxon beacon, kind of a like Ocean's 11 style. And I loved this scene, but I'm always partial to like a good heist in the planning stage. I've always enjoyed it. And the beacon is going to be displayed at some fancy gala thing at the Soltris Academy. And so they're all given separate tasks and sort of just immediately prepare for it. Initially, Jester is going to be the one who uses an invitation to be the guest who goes into the actual gala itself, but they're worried that she's going to be spotted by Lord Sharp, who I believe he chases her from her home in... It's either at the end of episode 1 or in episode 2. And so instead, they have Bo go inside, where it's revealed that she comes from like a very, very wealthy, how-to-do high society family. And it's cool to learn. Like, it just kind of shows how little we actually know about our main group so far, and so I thought that was a nice touch. And so Bo and Ford go into the gala. Ford kind of acts as her escort. Molly Mock kind of helps position Knot to be able to get into the sewer so he can infiltrate the tower next to the gala that way. And he also positions Jester to be able to get over the wall at the Soltris Academy so she can get to a different tower so she can set off fireworks as a distraction. And then he sort of just waits there as their getaway driver backup, and he's just chilling. And then it doesn't really show us how. I'm assuming it's just from his know-how of the academy and his magic skills, but Caleb kind of sneaks into the gala, makes his presence known to Trent, Ickathon, and the Volstruckers to create a distraction. And like, while that's happening, you see Knot in the sewers able to get over her fear of water and kind of able to push forward into the academy once she gets over that fear. And like, at this point, Trent tells the Volstruckers to get the beacon out of the gala and locked back up in the tower because he's starting to suspect that something is going on, and that's the same tower that Knot's trying to get into from the sewers. And so it looks like Trent is finally able to confront Caleb face to face, but as he's talking, it's revealed that it's like Ford being disguised by magic, I assume, and Trent basically tries to torture him into revealing where the real Caleb is, and Bo tries to hop in and help him, but she's stopped by the Volstrucker who stayed behind while the other one went to return the beacon to the tower. And like, just as that happening, Jester is able to get to the top of her tower finally, and the Traveler helps her. Like, he actually shows up and he helps her, and I was so happy for her and their exchange. It was just what she needed, and I just love Jester so much, so that put a smile on my face. It was initially, when the Traveler popped up, it looked like a kind of a demonic version of Kiki from Legends of Vox Machina, so I thought that was going to be a connection, and it turned out it's not. I was entirely wrong, but there is a fun connection here. Some of the guards at the gala mentioned the Chroma Conclave. They call it something different, but it is a direct reference to Vox Machina, and I like that. But anyways, with the Traveler's help, Jester is able to jump, get over to these fireworks, and cause another distraction, and she like launches some in the air, which causes the crowd to go outside. But then she also shoots them straight down into the gala room, which Ford is able to get away, and it kind of keeps Bo from getting killed. So it's just a whole lot of chaos in that room. And then, like, simultaneously, while that's happening, Molly Mock is waiting outside, and he gets attacked by the woman who commissioned the gentleman to hire the Mighty Nine to steal the beacon. I believe her name was like Dorona, something like that. I don't remember, but she's also had confronted Trent Ickathon earlier in the season in her kind of like subtle way. They speak very courteously to each other while kind of taking barbs and making threats at each other the whole time. And she ends up calling Molly Lucian, like that other character had called him a few episodes ago. And she states that she had already killed him, and she's I believe the word she used was Nonagon. And she's like using magic to try to kill him, but then his eyes and tattoos start to glow again, and it unleashes some kind of like, I don't know, energy blast or force blast that seemingly kills her. Like, it goes off and you don't see her, but like, I might have looked away. I didn't see a body or anything, so maybe she just got teleported away. I don't know, but my guess is that it killed her, but then it kind of quickly cuts away from Molly after that. And so I'm really hoping that we get more explanation in season 2 for like the background of his character, because it's fascinating. Like, I think it's cool that he's a character that doesn't remember like his entire life. Like, it's very Born Identity, but in Dungeons and Dragons. So we jump back inside. We see Caleb and Knott, like the real Caleb and Knott, manage to get to the beacon in the tower, where they're attacked by Trent, and it ends up knocking Knott out very temporarily. And you can see that Trent, he doesn't want to fight Caleb, or he calls him Bren, his original name, and he's trying to convince Caleb to join him, and it kind of looks like it's working. Like, I can't, it's hard to say that he would have gone, but it kind of seemed like Caleb was really leaning into it, just as you see Knott kind of waking up, and he sees Caleb almost joining with Trent Ickathon as well when these Kreen agents attack, and they are fucking badass. Like, they're, I guess, the special forces of the Kreen Empire. They're magic users. They can fly. Like, they come in these super cool suits, and they seem pretty powerful, and it ends up being a really badass magic fight between these soldiers and Trent and the Volstruckers as well. And Trent does manage to capture one of the soldiers, and it's revealed that it's Essek. So it looks like Essek listened to his mom, is trying to set things right and hopefully get the beacon back. But I'll be interested to see what Trent does with him when we get to season 2, because I can't imagine that he's going to respond super well. And so you see the group kind of trying to figure out what to do. Knott is openly mad at Caleb pretty much as soon as he regains full consciousness. He calls Caleb a fucking traitor and tells him to like get away. And that's another thing that in season 2, I'm like, man, I really wonder how that's going to play out, because before they can kind of hash it out and Caleb gets a chance to explain himself, the Mighty Nine runs into a sewer where they run into two Kreen agents who have the beacon. Like, they've managed to get away from Trent and the Volstruckers, and now they're just trying to get the beacon out of there. And Ford manages to kill one. Like, he absorbs the eye jewel like into his chest. It looks super painful, but makes him strong enough to be able to kill one. And then it kind of looks like the group is pretty much ready to all be knocked down just by somebody like blowing some wind at them. And they're like, all right, I guess we're going out with a blaze of glory, as they try to turn and fight the last Kreen agent, the one who's holding the beacon. And Yasha comes in and cuts his head off. It's her first contact that we see with the Mighty Nine, and she tries to grab the beacon, and it seemingly like, I believe it just turns her sigil off. Like it seems to deactivate the magic or however the mechanics of that work. But she immediately looks up at the Mighty Nine once she's kind of regained her composure in her own mind, and immediately asks the Mighty Nine for help. Credits. I thought it was a really great way to end the season. The episode has a lot going on and sets up a lot going forward. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get to see more of Yasha interacting with them. I understand that's how that worked in the campaign because Ashley Johnson was out working on a TV show and she couldn't be in the first part, and I understand that. But I was just hoping for a little more, but really just a fantastic first season. It's got a very, very strong narrative. We have an intriguing group of characters that do have a strong like chemistry amongst the characters themselves, and so you root for them instinctively even when you're first just meeting them. And so I'll be excited to learn more because we've learned, a little bit more about Bo, a little bit more about Caleb being Bren, and I would like to see the backstories kind of fleshed out for all of it. And really my only gripes for the season are really probably the pacing of episode 7. It kind of felt, even though it was a good episode and I enjoyed it, it just didn't move anything forward, and it felt kind of like maybe a wasted episode in a way. And then while I do enjoy all the stuff that they're setting up for season 2, admittedly the lack of resolution for this season is kind of a bummer. That's something that I think that Vox Machina does pretty well. Like at the end of the first season, you get you don't get the conclusion of their story, but you at least get a conclusion to the whole like Briarwood saga part until they go on and they move towards like the Chroma Conclave part. And I would have liked some just feeling that like chapter 1 is done and we're moving on to chapter 2, and it didn't really feel that way because it left very cliffhangery, which I am compelled. I want to come back. I immediately want more, so it's a good strategy. But I just kind of like that resolution you get from the seasons of Vox Machina. But like I said, great first season of a TV show. I would say the entire season, I'll rate the episode. This episode's a 10 out of 10. Great episode. Loved it. Just my personal preference of wanting a little bit more resolution from the season. I don't think it is necessarily all falls into this episode. So this episode's a 10 out of 10. The season itself, I'm going to say a 9.9 out of 10. And really the only thing that's holding it back is kind of that feeling of lack of resolution and the kind of weird pacing near the end of the season. But 9.9 out of 10 is a great first season, and I think Vox Machina has gotten better as it has gone on, and I'm hoping the same thing with the Mighty Nine, so I'm hoping that all of the rest of the seasons are just absolute bangers, 10 out of 10. I do think, even though I enjoy the resolution you get at the end of the Vox Machina seasons, in particular season 1, I do believe that the Mighty Nine season 1 is better than Vox Machina season 1. Just from a narrative perspective, it is more compelling, and I love it. And I love having both of these shows. I'm bummed that we're gonna have to wait. I think they said maybe the second season of this show is going to be coming out in 2027, so like a little over a year, which bums me out. But as long as they're this quality, I will be happy to wait. I do have some more videos that I'm working on very soon that I'll have up. Of course, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments of the episode, of the season as a whole. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? How do you think that it compares to Vox Machina? If you just want to do season 1 to season 1, let me know. I think the Mighty Nine, I just prefer the more dramatic storytelling with the comedy undertones, whereas in Vox Machina is more overtly comedic and the drama is kind of built up slowly in the back and the suspense is built up, whereas in the Mighty Nine kind of immediately has it, grips you, and holds you the entire time. But let me know down below, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.